Vele ukungena ku-street fighter nje uphuza amanzi ube nestamina.
Vele istanza wenza ibukabuka ufuna bakubheka.
Ukugibela ibhayisikili every day.
And during that time, our auction culture, my chants were already forward, you know, they were like, oh, can we build a business around that?
So if you think about it, like the shop has always been a platform.
Thrifting and recycling, it's kind of the same thing, you know. You thrift, you kind of giving life into old clothes. So that was the whole point. So we used to just go around, buy second-hand clothes, and former business partner was a fashion designer, so he had his sewing machine at home. So we used to buy those clothes, like change them around. We just used to deconstruct whatever that we would find at second-hand shops. So from that thrifting, second-hand buying, it was like more of, can we build a business around that? And it came to research, and yeah, through my research, when you Googled street culture back in the day, one thing that popped up was just like Supreme, Stussy, and the whole culture. One thing that was always talking to me with Supreme and all of that is that those guys build brands in their neighborhoods. And then it so happened that we were chilling with a friend of ours who was studying at Wits, and he had to go submit his thesis. Mom was like, actually, that's a dope name. The sound of it is a dope name, and also the meaning behind it and what we were doing prior to that in terms of going around buying second-hand clothes. And it was more of a research about street culture. That's what we were doing. So the name sticked, and then it so happened in 2005, we registered the company. And yeah, so they say the rest is history.
How the jam session was born again is from this space, you know. One day we were listening to this podcast with Gals Peterson and Soil and Pimp Sessions. They were jamming inside the Kagiso store in Amsterdam. From bouncing off ideas, listening to this podcast, we're actually saying, oh, we're actually inside a store, we know DJs. How about we host the same thing here? If you think about it, before Thesis, there was a platform for Abu China, Abu Mbuso, Abu Slaka, all those guys that were doing mixtapes here. So this space becomes a platform. Like, the shop has always been a platform.
Igama lestanza walisuvelela yabo eSouth Africa mara la eMzansi most of the time. So istanza isuka vele ngala boma US kulabantu abathanda imoto vele zakudala ama classic cars yabo. So my it grew yabo sebayenza nangapha yabo, then bese seba decide ukuthi okay thina siyenze ngendlela yethu ukuthi si imoto silower both front and back yabo, then nice rims yabo, nice colors, siyenze sipimpi be nice yabo, and then that developer lapho ke ukuthi la eMzansi sinestanza yabo sek-attend ama-show, and then nasebhayisikilini okay ebhayisikilini singathini ukudropha yabo iframe BMX faka ama-tire 16 yabo libe nice faka ikhala yobangena showing shortly yantenja.
Kodwa mina istanza akusinto engizitshaye ngayo kakhulu yabo ngoba ngizitshaye ngokurisa vele.
Sekuyoduma istandi ngibona labo abantu barisa manje bazobe bastanda nathi.
Vele istanza wenza ibukabuka ufuna bakubheka yabo, izinto ezinjalo uyachoma uyaflex.
Vele mina ku-spinning like angikwazi ukuspina ngebhayisikili elishort. Funa like ibhayisikili elide noma like ngijika ngilizwe ukuthi ya lajika.
what we tried to do with the jam session was to bring these signed artists, that was Tumi, The Volume, whether it's Public Enemy, and these unsigned guys. And you bring them close to each other to interact. And just to create that back and forth of an energy. It's happening at the same time as this global movement where everyone's trying to find their feet to make jam session like a vibrant block party.
So most of the time, bicycle are safe during our weekend or end of the month. So that's why, like, there's no kuluma so much and scooter limits come between those days or months to avoid my accidents.
I mean, the challenge was, I wouldn't even say it was a challenge. We were just like growing, you know, and this growth was coming with a lot of protocol, to call it that way, you know, because they like, everything must be done on the book, you know.
Biggest challenge like abantu bama-taxi. Umuntu ozosilanda pavement yabo. Ukhona omunye amlanda pavement in taxi like for in yabo.
Ngoba vele ngaphandle vele baningi abakhule banganama bicycle. Bazokuchayisa ngemoto bayenze ngoba abanomona. Kabe bacela kahle ukuthi ubabone iBicycle yangithola. So yeah, ziningi kunabantu abo njengamunye ubhuti akabrike stop sign yangithola. Into ezinjalo so kumele nabo bagade basihloniphe naso bahloniphe
njengalesi ayithola ithokoza la siza isibanda sisichayisa la umageza aya
into ethi kufanele ukuthi like abantu abaningi abakayithathele ekhaya basibona is like amatunda asazulu.
Sharp, with every culture, you know, there is that craziness. I always say these kids are crazy. They ride with no brakes. Shut up sign, like you know, but culture has to be destructive sometimes.
But although bakhona bas-understandayo yabo ngoba vele masingabantu asicabanga ukufa so lathina sa-operate ama-hoods ezinto singanama-break maka thina masisiyabhrika manje siyabhrika like izinto ezinjalo manje abantu abasi-understand.
No, it comes with that. For even with us, with the jam session, to other people, we're just destructive. You know, if you are passing from the outside, but come inside and really understand that actually this is a platform.
Nakhona nathi sine fault ngoba abanye abathanda ukufaka ama-break. Yabo then sisachayisana singene emotweni yabo. But usually yabo by all means ukuthi practice equal safety.
Ngicela uhulumeni ayenzele wonke amabhayisikili umgwaqo khona la kuyo le migwaqo yemoto nabo babe nendlela zabo ukuthi bazekwazi ukuthi bahlale baphilile ngoba ibhayisikili kufana nokuthi uyajima usakhula uhealth kunokuthi angabayenzeli imigwaqo bazocabana nabantu beimoto ngoba abanye abantu beimoto abananhliziyo badlala amabhodlela babuye babone labafana ngathi barongo ukuhamba la emgwaqweni ngoba abakhokhi intelo.
And we got shut down because we wanted to grow. It was not a matter of we were doing anything illegal, but we wanted to grow and we wanted to grow proper. We also wanted to have JMPD here. We also wanted to have medics here, you know? And we couldn't close off the street. I mean, you try to close off the street, they tell you that no, it's a taxi route, but they'll close 94.7, 2 highways for the whole day. You ask yourself, what's fair, what's wrong? By then, corporate sponsors were in. It was actually when we were doing the play thing with Vuzu that we got shut down. Yeah.
In terms of the actual goals now, I think with any other store, you would think that people would want to open more stores. But I think we are holding back on that right now, but just trying to build another ecosystem in our business, which is like, how do we build our own factory in the township?
But like, masingatholi sponsor, bese sithola like i-area nyana, bayipastere.
Indawo enedulo ukuthi family yakho re pinchi zakho uzubona ukuthi standa kanjani.
Bese kube vele nendawo yama-stands, like indawo yokuchilla, chillers.
So how do these kids get their own guy who will be building bikes? You know, how do we take them and take them to a school of welding and learn about welding? When you look at Shineli and the whole Columbus culture in Italy. It's this guy who started this company wanted to build frames because cycling was a huge thing. But how do we take this kid and put them in that narrative of saying, okay, you can take this, you can be a welder, you can build your own bikes. From these bikes, you can build your own shop. From this shop, how do we say one day they can even manufacture their own rims? You know, that's where we should be driving these kids to.
Yeah, like ukona ibicycle shop yethu. Ama-design amasha ama-bicycle like esizicabangele wona.
Yeah, and also owning a training center. Yabo, if umzali ahlule ukutrain umntana akho drive bicycle kahle, simfaka ku-training center, yeah, into enjalo.
Hayi senza mina ngafuna senza ama-bicycle okurisa yabo. Sibe ne-center yokutrain abantu abafuna ukurisa nabo bazokhona ukugijima nabo. Kodwa bona babe safe, bangafani nathi. Babe ku-environment e-right yabo. So yeah, masingaphila nje i-center sibe nalapho sizenzela ama-bicycle.
Qale like bahle.
Sizilungisele into zethu, sikhathele ukuya ebantwini yabo silungise izinto zabo.
Ezinye izinto kumele ziphumele e-South Africa, singahlali si-importa every time. Hayi.
Kumele libhale vele street fighter ngithola. Sure.
Mina vele ngaprefera ukuyenzani ngithola i-shirt. Yes, then sihlanganisa imali sithenga ama-parts for wona lamabhona abafuna ukuthi siwayenze. Ama-frame, i-tray, izinto ezinjalo. Ne-sound yafuneka ukuthi vele singabhayi sisebenze vele kumjavu. Yeah, sipanera siyasho. Yeah, ngithola izinto ezinjalo yabo.
Mhlampe nawe ufuna ukuyenzela umntana akhe i-birthday. Uyakhona ukusithinta. Sifike sisipina ajabule umntwana naye. Ngiyakutshela uzogqugquzeleka naye uzofuna ukuyenza lento esiyenza.
Indaba njengabama-BM sebanendawo zabo boma-Wheels and Smoke. Yeah, zonke le ndawo lezi ukuthi mangabe vele i-spinning sazi ukuthi okay spinning no interruptions senze into yethu saqeda wonke umuntu usafe akulimalanga. Yeah.
These kids, we need to really guide them and mold them to say, okay, this thing is not really destructive. It's your passion, kids. How do we monetize this and make a living out of it?